Okay, it was good to be back from spring break on the practice field with our guys. It was not a whole lot of new install. It was mostly review. Really, what stood out to me is our guys' energy, and it was really impressive from the standpoint we've had 10, 11 days off. We had over a 2-hour practice, and it was hot. Real impressed with the guys. Says a lot about the character of our team right now, which that's really what stood out to me today. Looking at the rest of the week, Thursday we'll come back out and have a good practice. It'll be red zone oriented, and that'll allow us to have everything, for the most part, situational things put in for our scrimmage on Saturday. Saturday will be a good scrimmage, give everybody a chance to play, be pretty basic football, and give us a chance to evaluate our guys and kind of see where we're at. Couple updates. John Franklin will work primarily at wide receiver the rest of the spring. He played some before we left, did some things on special teams. And he's obviously, everybody knows he's a very good athlete, and he's got a great attitude and wants to help the team any way he can, and he's really done a good job at that. Kyle Davis is still taking care of some personal business. I'm not sure if he's going to be back before the end of the spring. He will be back for the fall, just taking a little bit longer than we initially thought. Tyler Queen has asked for his release. We granted that. We wish him nothing but the best. He's a fine young man. And really, in fairness to him, he's been banged up and not been healthy a whole lot since he's been here, but he's a fine young man and has a great family, and we wish him nothing but the best. Questions?
Yes, does this kind of allow you now to really focus on 3 or 4 guys at the quarterback position, which is kind of what you want to do anyway?
Yeah, and like we said earlier, I think they started out with 6, and, just got to make decisions as you go. And I know Chip's got a good plan, for rotating the guys, as far as that goes. So obviously it's easier to evaluate the smaller the numbers. Sean did some 7-on-7 today. He's not doing any team. He did a little bit of 7-on-7 the last practice. Now, he will not do any kind of team type deals, but it's good to have him out there throwing. He's still kind of on a pitch count, but he was out there at least where Chip can evaluate him.
Can you talk about Tyler? I know he had some pretty bad luck with his injuries.
Yeah, and I think that's really what stands out to me. I think he had the elbow injury, coming out of high school, kind of set him back just a little bit, had a shoulder or two, but he's an outstanding young man, a great worker, great character. He's a smart kid too.
Points, Gus, on what you're kind of looking for on Saturday from scrimmage?
Yeah, I think it's more of just from a valuation standpoint of who can tackle, who can protect the football, who can break a tackle, who can make a play when it's scrimmage type situations. And like I've said before, you have situational things in spring, and you're evaluating, you're rotating a bunch of guys, and when scrimmage, that's when it gets real football. And a lot of times guys react differently in those situations. So it's just more of a big picture standpoint, being the first scrimmage, and not just the young guys, just seeing who can possibly help, but even those older guys. And the thing that we've asked our guys, we've challenged our guys that are returning starters, and take that next step. Take that next step to be an impact player. And then, of course, we challenge our young guys, and handful of young guys that we feel like after 5 practices we've kind of figured out, man, those guys have a chance to help us. They need to take that next step. So it's kind of all the above, but from a coach's standpoint, you really look forward to those type of spring scrimmages. You learn a whole lot about the team.
Do you keep the quarterbacks off limits and tackle?
Me and Chip will talk about it probably as it gets closer, but we'll see. I'm not going to rule out anything, but we'll just have to see.
Yes, this defensively, how different does this group look now that they're in the same system coming back in?
Yeah, from last year this time to now, it's night and day. Just from the standpoint they know who they are. They know who they are. They know how Coach Steele, his expectations and staff's expectations, and it's just a confidence, and they're off to a good start.
Just to be clear on John Franklin III, when you said primarily at receiver, is he going to take any?
He could, but we're really focusing primarily the rest of the spring just on his development at wide receiver and special teams, and we feel like he can be an impact player, on special teams too.
Punt return and kick return?
You know, all the above. You know, he's got a chance to. I think everybody knows when he has the ball in his hands. You know, he's got a unique ability to, you know, change the game.
Gus, has Chip kind of warmed you to the idea of RPOs, of using more RPOs?
Well, that was kind of part of the plan anyway. You know, we're traditionally one of the best rushing teams in our league, and you know, to be able to hurt defenses when they roll an extra guy down or cheat the box and all that, and that's just something he's got a little expertise in. So you know, that's part of it.
How have you seen Chip?
Have you been intrigued by RPOs in the past? Well, you guys haven't used many of them. So.
We used some non-traditional RPOs, but
Well put.
yeah.
How are the other quarterbacks doing so far this spring?
You know, I'd say good. You know, we're not throwing, you know, a whole bunch of plays at them. I mean, it's just trying to get good at a few things, and you know, I think Chip's more interested in how they comprehend, how they react. You know, who can stay calm in the pocket, who can do the progressions, and who can protect the football. So, you know, I'd say we're not ready to really give any of them arrived or not arrived. It's more of just a process of spring. You know, as it gets the last 5 practices, things usually start to kind of, you know, make things clear.
Are you looking forward to seeing Woody and Malik out there in the scrimmage situation?
No doubt, no doubt. 2 young guys that, you know, see how they react.
Gus, what have you seen out of Woody, and I guess where has he made his biggest improvement?
Well, you know, of course, Woody got here late. He didn't get to go through summer and all that. So we made a pretty quick decision. I think it was after 2 weeks, and decided to redshirt. So he was on the scout team, which is good for him. But, you know, this is really his first real chance to, you know, compete for playing time and all that. So you can tell he's more urgent than he was. It's just, like I said, it's just a process, and probably answer that question a little bit better probably the last 5 practices.
After reviewing this season, those now sophomore receivers, how do you evaluate their first year?
Well, I think the good thing is they're a talented group. They have experience now, and obviously they made some mistakes, but all freshmen are going to make some mistakes, but they got a year under their belt. And it's kind of been, as a group, Coach Burns has just challenged them, raise their level as a group. You know, we need to take that next step and you know, make some plays outside of the original type offense. And you know, so they're playing extremely hard right now. They got a good attitude, and you know, we're rotating a lot of quarterbacks too. So, but we like their attitude, and we think they got a chance to be a good group.
Is Darius Slayton still limited?
Darius Slayton came back, had his first practice today. We didn't just throw him in and let him go. We kind of were trying to be strategically smart about it, but he got quite a few reps, and each practice will bring him a little more along. But you know, he's kind of he's got the ability to kind of be one of the leaders of that group, and but it was good to have him back out there.
Jamel Dean was back in practice, and Javon looked like, are they limited? Or
Yeah, they're very limited, but you know, they'll be cleared for summer to go, and both of them are coming along really good, and we think both of them could help us. And obviously Dean was in the mix to start before he got hurt.
How are the running backs, you know, performing right now, and how do you kind of want to handle that situation, knowing you got your 2 top guys back?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to focus more on the guys behind them, get them involved?
Well, you know, I think it kind of goes back to some of our more experienced guys. We ask them to take that next step. And, you know, we're trying to do a few different things with the running backs out of the backfield. So obviously they're getting work. But at the same time, those young guys that need to take that next step, you know, we'll give a whole lot of focus on those guys. But, you know, we need our best players to improve. And that's the challenge that I gave the whole bunch, offensively and defensively and special teams, that no one's arrived. We've got to all take that next step, and so you know, they're working hard at it.
Gus, how close are Nick Coe and Paul James to being back 100%?
Yeah, Nick Cole and Paul James were back today at practice. They were back the day before we left too. I'm not going to say that either one of them are 100%, but they're out there and you know they're improving.